Assalamualaikum and a very good morning. Today's lead story, the global risk for the economic stability. As the world fluctuates, social security remains the ultimate cushion against life's risk for unemployment to old age. But a right to security doesn't always mean access to it. Today, we compare two vastly different models, South Korea and India. In the red corner, South Korea, a welfare leader that achieves universal health coverage by 1989. Their challenge today, an aging population and blind spots for part-time workers, and in the blue corner, India, with a massive informal workforce, traditional schemes often fall short. Their solution, a digital revolution using the e-shram database and other biometric to bridge the gap. One relies on mandatory enrollment and the other on digital skill. We are breaking down that these two giants can learn from each other to protect citizens in every corner of the economy. Our full report begins.
This is a breaking news. I'm Alia, reporting live from Seoul. We have major updates regarding South Korea's social safety net as the nation implements critical reforms for 2026. Top story 9. The long-awaited national pension reform is officially underway. Starting January 1st, 2026, we are seeing the first in a series of phase increases. Employee and employee contributions have stepped up to 4.5% each, totaling a 9% contribution rate as the government moved to ensure the fund's long-term survival. This pillar continued to provide vital money income for retirement and disability. Crucially, the NPS maintained its global standard of inclusivity, providing foreign residents the exact same coverage and obligations as Korean citizens. In healthcare, South Korea National Health Insurance continued to provide gold standard universal coverage. Premium remain income-based, supported by significant government subsidies to keep costs manageable. The system ensures every resident has access to world-class medical care. For those in the lowest income bracket, the medical aid program remains a critical lifeline, ensuring that financial status is never a barrier to life-saving treatment. In a shifting job market, employment insurance is your backup plan, but you and your boss pay into this fund. If you lose your job, it doesn't just give you financial aid to pay the bills, it also pays for new skill training to help you get back on your feet. Most importantly, it now covers informal workers. That means freelancers, gig workers, and delivery riders are now protected just like office workers. Finally, let's talk about safety. The industrial accident insurance is unique because it is 100% funded by employees. If you get hurt or sick because of your job, this insurance covers all your medical bills and pays for your lost wages while you recover. It even provides support if you are temporarily laid off due to a workplace injury. From the gig worker on the street to the office worker in the city, South Korea's safety net is stronger and more inclusive than ever. Stay informed and stay protected. I'm reporting live on the reality of South Korea's social insurance system. It is a powerful shield, but it faces some tough challenges. Here are the pros and cons you need to know. Firstly, national pension. It is a reliable safety net. Your monthly payments are adjusted for inflation, so your money keeps its value for life. However, because of the low birth rate, there are fewer workers to pay into the fund, meaning future generations may face higher costs. Next, there is an incredible efficiency in health insurance. You get affordable access to world-class doctors and surgeries with most costs covered by the government. However, as the population gets older, medical demand is rising, which puts a huge financial strain on the national fund. Next, employment insurance. It benefits on skill building. It provides both cash and paid training to help you find a better career path. However, it widens the coverage gaps. It's still hard for gig workers and freelancers to prove their income, making it difficult for them to actually get their benefits. And lastly, accidents insurance, which is a no-fault system offered in South Korea. You get paid for injuries regardless of who caused the accident, avoiding messy legal fights with your boss. However, physical injuries are covered, proving that stress or burnout is work-related is still a major legal struggle. That is a two-sided story of South Korea National Protection System, a strong foundation but one that needs to evolve. I'm Alia, stay informed and stay safe.
Good morning, everyone. Today we are looking at how India protects its most vulnerable citizens. Social security isn't just about charity, it's about economic stability and human rights. We will explore 5 pillars from food security to rural employment that define the country's inclusive growth strategy in 2026. First, the midday meal schemes, MDMS. It is a school feeding program. It provides a one hot cooked meal, nutritional meal every school day. It covers children in government and government aided schools. This scheme is an incentive parents from marginalized communities. It also incentives parents to send girls to schools. Second scheme, a rural employment guarantee, MG and RIGA. This scheme is a right-based law guaranteeing 100 days of unskilled work annually to rural households. It covers every rural household that demands it. This scheme helps providing rural women with financial independence. The third scheme is Child Development Service (ICDS). The schemes operate through the Anganwadi centers. It provides supplementary nutrition, immunization, and preschool education. It covers the children aged between 0 to 6 years and pregnant or lactating mothers. It focuses on the first 1,000 days of their life, targeting malnutrition in economic growth. The third scheme is Public Distribution System (PDS). The scheme is a food security network that provides highly subsidized foods such as rice or bread. Under the National Food Security Act of NFSA, it covers the poor people, roughly 60% of the India population. It is a through the One Nation, One Ration cards. The system is inclusive of immigrant workers. And the last social security system in India is Social Security Pension (NASAP). It is the National Social Assistance Program provide monthly cash transfer. It covers the elderly, widows, and the person with disabilities who live below the poverty line. It helps to ensure that the oldest or that those in remote areas receive their pensions without having to travel to banks. These slides highlight the two of the India's most significant welfare programs by examining how they have succeeded but still face the challenges. First, the midday meal schemes, where it provides free school lunches to all the children in the schools. The pro is it has been highly effective in improving the social outcomes by reducing the child labor by an estimated 47% and increasing school attendance. However, the implementation remains uneven in the urban slums. Migration and a lack of proper documentation means many vulnerable children still fall through the cracks. Next, the Rural Employment Guarantee, MGNREGA. The pro is this serves as the ultimate safety net for the rural poor, providing guaranteed wage employment that help the family survive through the major economic shocks. However, the primary challenges here are the systemic. Budgetary volatility and the chronic delays in wages payments often undermine the program's ability to provide immediate relief to those who need it the most. Moving on to the Integrated Child Development Service, which focus on early childhood care and nutrition. The benefits are, over the last decades, the program has been a success in improving health outcomes, especially reducing the child stunting from the 38% to down to 35%. However, the primary challenge is the infrastructure at the grassroots level. Many ICDS centers still lack basic necessities like clean water or electricity, which hinders their ability to provide the consistent care. Next, the public distribution system, PDS, which is essential for the food security. The benefits are the system has been a game changer for the internal migrants, as a recent reform have improved the probability of benefits, ensuring people can access the food ratio even when they move for work. However, on the downsides, the system faced a high fiscal burden on the government. Additionally, there are persistent concerns regarding leakage, where the resources intended for the poor don't always reach the final recipients. Finally, we look at the National Social Assistance Program, (NSAP), which provides social security pensions. The benefits is it provides a direct and predictable cash flow for the most vulnerable members of the society. However, the central contribution to some of these pensions has remained stagnant at the 200 rupee or to 500 rupee per month for several years, which is often insufficient given the current living costs.
Thank you, presenter. I move on to the comparison of these two countries. First of all, South Korea implement death or coverage that cover all ages and all income levels, while expanding the Pillar 1 India system. Meanwhile, India implement breadth of inclusion, which the coverage aim reach as many as possible. The differences in here can be seen where India are leaving out most of the population in the system. Second, South Korea are being registered automatically for all its residents. Meanwhile, India needs to be registered manually by online once a year. The gap can be seen here where some of the Indian population are not being registered and miss out the time of registration. Lastly, South Korea include foreign workers in their security system by assessing all the benefits just like citizenship. This protects foreigners' welfare but at the same time contributing to Korean nation development, just like kill two birds at one time. Meanwhile, India limits inclusiveness to immigrants and some do not consider as including, since India's program itself of having large population and focuses on its own citizen coverage rather than immigrants. Therefore, in here, we would like to recommend Indian nations to first expand their coverage by including informal workers, migrants, as well as gig sector. A mandatory registration are recommended to all these people to assess and implement Pillar 1, which is social benefit to their system. Second, we recommend India nation to improve their accessibility and administrative efficiency to all these people. By then, all the financial literacy problems, plus with the rural areas internet access can be solved by then. Lastly, for South Korea, we recommend it to adjust their contributions premium to ensure a long-term financial sustainability since the country covers universally to all people. It is suggested based on the nation's turning to aging population for 5 years ahead according to Strand.
To wrap up our special global report today, we have seen two distinct visions of the future of welfare. In South Korea, it's a story of precision. Their insurance-driven system has built a high-quality safety net for the middle class, but a demographic ticking clock. Aging citizens and low birth rates is putting their funds on the line. Meanwhile, India is tackling skill. By reaching over 64% of its vast populations, they have turned basic survival into a right. Their digital leap for migrant workers is a game changer, even as they fight through bureaucratic red tape. They take away, both nations are at crossroads. India needs Korea's administrative efficiency and Korea needs the structural courage to reform its contribution rates. Ultimately, whether it's through insurance or assistance, the goal remains the same, ensuring no citizen is left behind in this shifting global economy. That's our report for this morning. On behalf of the entire team, thank you for joining us.